We got the fire.
Ellie Goulding, welcome on Rnbjunk.com. Thank you and welcome to Milan, of course.
Thank you very much.
Listen, just these days has come out Halcyon Days here in Italy, and this is the reissue of Halcyon with a lot more, but than the beginning. I mean, why this choice to add something more to Halcyon then instead of making another album, for instance, just
because I had a lot of songs that were still that were kind of from the period around the time that I wrote Halcyon, the original album. So I didn't feel like I was ready to write another album. I feel like that's going to be something with a completely different meaning and a completely different story, and like in another era of like not right now. So I wanted to just put these songs were just kind of like the missing piece like with the album, because it was I wrote a lot of sad songs and I was in a certain kind of mood, like certain kind of mood when I wrote them, and then the songs that I've added on are a lot happier and a lot more upbeat.
I see. So it all belongs to the original mood of all.
Yeah, they all belong together. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know of course that you write and also produce your song, and I wanted to ask you what or who does inspire you in writing?
I've read a lot since I was young, so books inspire me, like Murakami, Sebastian Faulks, poetry. I've read a lot of poetry over the last few years, and I like kind of dark, like funny, kind of humorous stuff. But like I read a big book of poems, Staying Alive, a compilation of poems.
Yeah.
That are really like real and raw and quite explicit, and so I used those, and then obviously like other singers, other bands, musicians, like classical music, and I listen to so much stuff that I'm just kind of inundated all the time, so that's kind of how I work really, listen to a lot of music all the time.
So you get inspired of course from this, and something I mean has changed from the beginning, of course, because we all grow up with. And is it a more mature Ellie than Lights? This one in Halcyon?
I guess so. I think inevitably it's come on since Lights. I think like my priorities have changed as to what I want to write about, and my views of the world have changed slightly, and like I see things differently now, and
yeah.
So Lights was quite a naive album, I think, but still like kind of like shed a light on like the later years of being a teenage girl and falling in love all the time.
I see. And just wanted to ask you which are, if these are Halcyon Days. I mean, do you really think that in this moment anything could happen, and anything has happened till now? Because I mean, a lot of things and success that you gained in.
Yeah, I'd say like these days at the moment are. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be at those days, but I definitely feel like at the moment things are very peaceful, and things are. I feel happy in myself at the moment, and like I'm getting there more and more each day, but I don't know, I mean, it's like being an artist, I don't know if you're ever completely fulfilled. I think it's the same thing, but it's a nice thought though, it's a nice dream.
But talking about dream, because people, I've read it also in some critics and so on, that they call your music somehow dream pop. Are you a dreamer?
Yeah, I'm definitely a dreamer. I have some dark dreams though. But no, it's not really. It's not really dream pop. It's so many elements of different things. Like it is a lot of electronic stuff, but also I still play guitar and drums. There's still like a lot of live instruments. I played a lot of the instruments on Halcyon, and there's strings and lots of guitars and stuff. So I don't know. Like I think dream pop was given to such music that's electronic and kind of futuristic, but I kind of dabble with everything with my music.
Yeah, of course. It's not always good to label music. I mean, it has its own shape. You can't just put a label on. But sometimes you read things like this. So I was just the idea. Talking about the parts of the album, here now in Italy, especially Burn is being a big hit, and we wanted just to ask you how you choose this from all the songs that you had there. I mean, how you choose a song as a single, just to bet on it and say, wow, I want to believe that it's going to reach much people as possible. I mean, what's the decision?
I just sensed that song was gonna do something. I didn't know what. I've definitely I've released songs before. I think they're gonna have an impact, not necessarily commercially, but you know, reach out to people. But I felt like Burn was gonna be more of a commercial success for me. Just a very universal sentiment.
I see. Okay, of course, talking about big hits, although it's not all yours, but it's with Calvin, the song of the year. I mean, I Need Your Love. How was being Calvin Harris' love for one day, taking the clip?
It was nice. You know, we're friends and we get on really well, so it was just quite fun. And sometimes it's good to have a boyfriend for just one day. So I think I want one for more than one day.
It's just a joke. About it, I mean, you've worked with him. You have worked with Skrillex, with other productions, and so on. Do you have someone you would like to go to work from now on, or have in a future collaboration, in particular among the artists, you know?
There's a few producers. I'd like to work with Hudson Mohawk, and I'd like to work with Diplo at some point, and I'd like to. There's a lot of hip hop producers and people I'd like to try out working with. But I've always also wanted to do duets with some people, like Justin Vernon from Bon Iver. I'd love to eventually do something with, but I don't know. I'm focusing on my own stuff at the moment.
Yeah, of course, because also there were talks about a possible collaboration with Bruno, because you toured with him in the States.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, it's all become nothing status.
Yeah.
I understand. Just a question about X Factor. I mean, tonight you're performing and all over the world, but especially in UK actually. There's been a great growth of talent shows, and actually a lot of singers came out with sometimes big success. But would you have ever taken part in a competition in the past if you had the opportunity?
I don't think I would have got through. I don't think I would have got through on a talent competition. I think my voice is too weird. And I don't think you can sum up really. You can't really tell what someone's going to become from that show. So I think for me, I was such a slow burner as an artist, and it really took a lot of time for me to evolve. So I don't think it's the right thing for me. I don't think it would have been the right thing for me.
But do you think generally that can be effective in discovering some artists, not only voices, of course, because there's a difference.
It has discovered. For me, I think it has discovered some really incredible singers. Yeah, and we wouldn't necessarily be where they are without that show.
Okay, just the last thing we wanted to know, if you, while touring and promoting, I think you are already working for the future, or for the moment you are just trying to perform the present album and the things.
Well, next year I'm gonna have a new album, I hope, and then I guess I'm just gonna be touring for a long time. Yeah, so I'm gonna be a touring artist for quite a few more years yet, I think.
Okay, thank you much. That's all. Enjoy Milan, of course, and the night.